Hello, my name is Josh Spence, and here with me is I have a money bag. Because like today, I would like to discuss and inform you of how much money college football coaches and professional athletes make. In my opinion, they make way too much money. I mean, can you believe that Nick Saban makes $7 million a year? He's a great coach, and I would never knock down Nick Saban, as I'm an Alabama fan myself. But I do not believe that he is worth $7 million a year. That's just an insane amount of money. That money could be spent on other things to help people instead of funding a coach that's just really just doing what he loves and is just coaching. He's coaching these young players for his love of the game, and I don't believe that he should make $7 million from doing that. And according to the New York Times, every time a baseball player, a Major League Baseball player, steps into the batter's box, he makes $10,000 for every single at bat. So that means if he has three at bats during the game, he'll make $30,000 just off of that one game, and that's most people don't make that in a couple months, several months, or some people, most people a year. So that's just crazy that they will make that in one day, and I don't believe that that's right, and it's really our fault of society for doing that because how we idolize and worship these guys. But also, I'd like to give you some numbers to begin with. The average annual salaries of players in these professional teams. In the NBA, the average player makes $5.15 million a year. And in the MLB, the average player makes $3.2 million a year. In the NHL hockey, the average hockey player makes $2.4 million a year. In the NFL, the average player makes $1.9 million a year. And honestly, these numbers are crazy. I got these from Forbes. And if anything, the football players should be making more money because they actually go through strenuous work, a lot more harder to do, a lot more harder sport, and especially on your body than all the other sports. And also, like I said earlier, Nick Saban makes a little bit over $7 million, and he's the highest college football coach, highest paid. And Jim Harbaugh also makes a little bit less than Nick Saban. He's the second highest paid football coach, and that's just that these schools are paying that much money. It's crazy. And also, Clayton Kershaw, pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, makes $31.2 million a year, or that's what he's expected to make this year, according to the Business Insider. And I mean that's crazy. He makes $31.2 million in 1 year. And also, what I've read from the Business Insider, he will make $1.2 million this year just off of sponsorships. That's just money given to him for wearing Under Armour cleats, and I don't agree with that. I think that money could go somewhere and be a lot more helpful. And also, I would like to discuss of why these players should not make that. So for one thing, like I said, there's plenty of places that this money could go. It could go to charities, and it go to more people like doctors, which they already do make a lot of money, but they actually do something to help people. And they what these athletes do, they're not. I mean, they're helping people by the entertainment, but they're not really worth that much money. And it's our fault, like I said earlier, because we idolize these people and we worship them, and we are the reasons that they make all this money. And also another reason these players, I mean, most of them, when they're greedy with their money, and once they get this money, they don't spend it properly. I would be more acceptable with them making this much money if most of them gave it to charities, which most of them do give it to charities, but they don't give near enough compared to what they're making. And most players, I've got players all the time spending all their money in like 1 or 2 years, and they spend $30 in 2 years. And how do you do that? And then it's just down the drain. And half the time they end up going bankrupt. So they obviously are misusing their funds. And like I said earlier, we worship these players, and that's our fault because we buy the tickets and stuff like that, which we all love entertainment, but they're not worth the money and what we put on them. They're just not worth it. And to conclude my speech, I would just, we should start maybe not idolizing and worshiping them as much and treating them like gods, and maybe actually look into somehow using that money somewhere else. I mean, the president of the United States only makes $200,000 a year, and these guys like Clayton Kershaw is making $31.2 million a year. The president of the United States has a lot more effect on the world, what's actually going on in the world, than Clayton Kershaw does. So I don't agree that that's not a very good ratio of what's actually going on right there. And I mean, all these people, like I said, in the health world and that are actually helping people, they should be the ones making this. Nobody should make this much money, but they should be the ones making more money instead of going to these baseball players that we idolize. Today, hopefully, I'll persuade you a little bit into thinking like me and thinking that they are paid too much. But I would like to thank you for your time and thank you for listening.